I always loved teaching, maybe to my friends, maybe to my siblings. So I thought, why not take it as my career?
Do you have a specific teacher?
I have many teachers. There's this one specific teacher. She was very rough, and then she helped me to get good marks in maths.
Hello everyone. Today we have another math specialist with us. I would like to welcome Ishaaq from the Momentum Mathematics. So Ishaaq, tell our audience a little bit about how this Ishaaq came to the world.
So I am Ishaaq Ahmed Wasim, and I studied at Zahira College Colombo from grade 1 till grade 13, and then I am doing mathematics classes in many places. That's it.
Yeah, okay. That's a really interesting start, but like you could have done a lot of things. But why did you choose this teaching specifically? What did you see about this teaching, and why you think teaching is the thing that suits you?
Yes, that was a good question, Miran. And the thing is, teaching. I have passion for teaching. I love teaching. See, I have been in many clubs and activities during my schooling time. I was in the Interact Club, I was in the Model United Nations, many different things. But whatever I did, whatever I studied, I always loved teaching, maybe to my friends, maybe to my siblings, maybe to my juniors. Whenever I teach, I sense a brightness in my day. For example, when I teach someone, they understand the subjects, and when their eyes light up, I feel that same happiness as they are feeling. So I thought, why not take it as my career?
Yeah, so what I feel is that teaching is your passion and it gives energy to you.
Energy to me. Every day when I wake up in the morning and realize that I have class, then I feel like I have something to do in that day which is meaningful as well as fun for me. So that's why I took teaching.
Yeah, that's a really inside take that what you earn from the teaching is that the happiness in your students.
Happiness in my students as well as the spiritual merits.
Yeah, I get that. So now you are a teacher. Now you have done teaching for several years. But like if we go back again, like do you have a specific teacher that did a pivotal moment in your life that you take him or her as a role model in your teachings, and someone who actually a teacher? The teacher is someone who can change a student's life.
Definitely.
So do you have a teacher that changed your life?
So now that you're asking about it, I have many teachers who shaped and guided me to where I am right now. If not for my teachers, I would have been lost long time back. My teachers are my anchor points who guide me after my parents' teachers. But there's this one specific teacher. During my O-level times, Miran, I was a very, very notorious, if you will, a notorious student. I was studious from a young age, but when it came to my O-level, specifically grade 10 and 11, I was very into these clubs and activities. So I got lost in terms of studies, where my grades took a huge hit and it dipped. So as a studious kid, or as any kid, when your grades take a hit, you lose all sort of confidence, and your parents start to scold you, and then your teachers don't give you attention, your friends get away from you. There are lots of things that I face, and I actually ended up going down that rabbit hole of not studying, not getting grades, and then not studying again. There was this one teacher she was very rough, but in a loving manner. So she is the one who brought me back. I always loved maths, no matter what subject if I didn't understand. I always had the passion and love for maths, where that even if all my other marks dipped, maths stayed somewhere. Even if it was not at the top, it was there. So that teacher, what she did, she brought my love of maths. She reminded me of my love to maths, and then she helped me to get good marks in maths. That way, when I studied maths and it increased little by little, all the other subjects came up. So from like 1A and nothing and C's in my term tests, I came all the way to 7 A's for my A levels because of that teacher. So that teacher was the reason that I'm currently.
And now you are also taking that teacher as role model in your teaching, that how you see that potential in some kids, some notorious kids.
Definitely. So now I feel I need to give back what that teacher gave me. Definitely. So like, for example, taking that thing. If that teacher had not cared for me, I would have been lost. So I want to be that way. I want to remind kids why they need to study and then help them to study.
Yeah, so you are doing teaching not because it's just only your passion, but to give back to the society and give back to what the teacher gave you. Yeah. So like let's like again go back to O levels because now you are teaching them, especially for the O level
Yes,
maths.
yes.
So in your O levels, I think you have the experience of the student and especially the experience of the notorious student and also the student that who is lot of into sports.
Definitely.
So a lot of students I think doing O levels have this problem that how do they balance the life with their sports and then this academics and some being notorious, like how you make that turn back and how you balance. First let's go for balance and then you turn back.
Yeah. So as O level kids, I was not an O level student. I was not. It's not been a long time since I was an O level student. It's quite recent. So I remember, as an O level student, you generally don't focus on studying. Studying feels like poison. Studying feels like medicine. Whereas these co-curricular activities, be it sports, be it games and chatting with friends, that feels like candy. So what you do, you tend to go towards the sweeter side than the bitter side, right? So we need to balance both. Just like how medicine is bitter, but you need to have it. Studies may be bitter, but you need to focus on it. So what I would suggest is, you too, no matter what you do, no one can just study. That's a very bad thing. You have to be in clubs, activities and all sorts of stuff like that. But no matter what you are into, always turn back to studies. That way, if you keep studies as your anchor point, no matter where you go, you'll return back. Just like how Lotus Tower is the tallest building in Colombo, no matter where you go, you won't get lost because you can look at Lotus Tower. Make studies your Lotus Tower, so that no matter where you are, you can look back to it and return back to it. That way you can balance it.
Yeah, that's a very good advice. You have to make the studies you Lotus Tower. And like one of the important things I should mention is like the Ishaaq. So he's like someone actually who can relate to the students and who knows how the students' heart beats. I think he has very recent experience on this, and I think that's one of the like plus points of why someone should come to your class, right?
Yeah, because so when I was young, during my schooling years, I was not a genius. There were students who scored way better than me, who got way more prizes in academics than me, and who are generally good in studies. I was not bad either. I was the average kid, average in everything, as we all are.
Yeah, most of us are average.
That's the thing. It's me.
The thing is, a lot of people like market themselves as the most genius, but then someone from the average cannot relate. They don't know how they think. But
that's the thing.
But when you are average student, you know how the average people think, right?
That's the thing. As an average student, I remember sitting with my friends in the middle row, and the teacher will teach, and the ones in the front row, they'll instantly get it. That's all. Like for them, once enough. And then we, being in the average, being in the middle row, it takes us some time for us to understand. But my friends and me, we didn't get the opportunity to ask doubts and questions.
Because like sometimes the teacher doesn't know that kids are
because the front rows are the brightest and
they only see the front row. I think everyone understands.
And because they're the loudest, what they do, so as soon as they understand, the teacher moves on. I was fortunate, and thank God I was lucky enough to be somewhat quite perceptive. So as soon as the teacher teaches, it takes me some time, but I understand. So I was able to, being the average student and average along with my friends, I was able to understand what my friends didn't understand. So the teacher teaches, it takes me some time, but I understand, and I was able to translate it in a language in which my friends would understand as well. That circling back to what you asked earlier, that also helped me to find my passion for teaching. So like that, since it's been not that long, I realized what way it needs to be a concept needs to be taught, so that no matter if you're bright, average or downright not good in that concept or that subject, you can understand.
Yeah.
So that is what, as you said, I know how your heart beats, right?
Yeah, and that's a specialty about the momentum mathematics. Like if the Pythagoras came and gave his theories, I think no one would understand. Someone had to translate that.
Translate that, definitely.
Yeah, that's right. So when we're talking about Pythagoras, let's move back to your subject. You are doing
Sure.
maths. So like, can you tell us like why maths is very important? Maths is one of the most important things. That's
Definitely,
known in the world. But why do you think that maths is important? And why we need maths in our lives?
So it's a very interesting question. Many students, they learn maths because for the sake of learning maths and getting marks, which is not wrong. Definitely, you need marks. Obviously, why are you studying? For marks. That's one of the main things. But many only study for marks, especially subject like maths. What they do, they try to memorize it and spit it onto the paper for marks. It may work for other subjects, Miran, but for maths, it's not the best way to approach. Because maths, if you see, is integrated into everything. If you want to become an engineer, sure, obviously you need maths. If you want to become a computer scientist, you need maths. But those are the top tier, right? Let's come back to the middle. If you want to start a business, if you want to start your own business, or if you want to work somewhere, if you want to go to the shop to buy groceries, still you need maths. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, everything. So studying maths is very important because wherever you see, wherever you look at, you see maths. The thing is, there are certain chapters in maths which the students still they ask me, sir, why do we need to study trigonometry? Sir, why do we need to study matrices? Those chapters may not help you now and may never help you. Even if you go maths related side in maths university or field in maths, that will be useful. But there are loads of other chapters in maths which really help you in life. So you have to learn maths because of that.
Yeah, that's true. And if you look at around you, actually, I think every subject, every chapter in the maths has application around you. You may not know that it used that theory, but most of the things we see in every day has maths integrated. Yeah.
As you'd know, and as an A-level maths student and someone who's going to start a maths degree recently, I actually have seen that.
Yeah, that's true. That everything has maths in it. So now there's this famous saying that never stop learning because life never stops teaching.
Definitely.
So let's put that back to your subject. So you are a maths teacher. So to tell our audience about some very fun fact or interesting fact that you learned about maths very recently.
That was a very, very interesting question because not quite long ago, I was scrolling through Instagram and I came across a very fun reel which blew my mind away, and I'd like to share it with the students and everyone. It's very fun actually. So you may not know, you should try it. You know what, let's have a session. Let's see. So take a number, any number greater than 9, it can be any digit, but for mind calculations let's make it a 2-digit number. Any number greater than 9 that is initially not divisible by 9. You can't divide it by 9. Take a number.
Yeah, okay, I have a number in my
No, you can say it out loud.
9. Sorry, 10. Sorry, 10. I was thinking about 10.
10 is also fine. Now let's take, say, 20.
Okay, 20.
Why not 20? So what you're going to do now, what are the digits that are visible in that number? 2 and 0. So from the 20, you are going to subtract those 2 digits. So from 20, if you
18.
subtract 2, 18, no need to subtract 0. So the number you obtain, 18, will be divisible by 9, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So for example, let's take another number, 64.
64. Okay.
Is it divisible by 9?
No.
It's not, right? Closest is 63. 64 is not divisible by 9. What are the numbers you should subtract from it?
6 and 4.
6 and 4. If you subtract 60 from 64, 6 and 4, you will obtain 54, which will be divisible by 9.
Yes.
Any number, no matter if it's lakhs or millions. That's actually very fun, right?
Yeah, that's very interesting. And I think our audience can actually...
You can actually try it. You can try it along right away. You can take any number, it will work. But it should be greater than 9.
Yeah, that's very interesting. In fact, and if you I think if you join with the momentum maths, you can actually learn how it works and why it works.
Definitely.
Yeah. And then some more theories like and very interesting.
Very fun things and very interesting things.
Yeah. And like there are a lot of interesting stuff in the maths, and for again like you mentioned about Instagram, like even if you take Instagram, it operates in lot of maths.
Lot of the algorithms and the reels. You may not know it, but everything from the reels you're scrolling.
Yeah, when you
and
scroll, lot of calculations happens inside.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting, and I
Interesting.
think you have to. I think maths is a very fun
Maths is
subject.
very fun.
I think like one of the great things you mentioned is like maths is not like a lot of people think it's like very boring subject, but look at that the recent fact that he learned, it's very fun thing to try out, right? So maths is fun,
That's the
right?
thing. So it depends on the way you're taught the subject. So maths is a very unique subject where it can be taught in a boring, complex, theory-focused way, which is why many students start to hate maths. Fortunately, I had amazing maths teachers in my childhood who helped me to understand that maths is not boring. It's actually quite fun if you learn it the right way. So
Yeah. So actually, I was going to ask a question. Like, no, you have answered, but like let's summarize it.
Sure.
You have a lot of like points. So now that I think like everyone understand like what's the importance of maths, but now let's focus on what's the importance of learning maths from the momentum mathematics.
Okay, that's a very nice question. So, like I said, I was a student not quite long ago. So even just few years back, I was studying A levels. At which point I was still a student. Now I'm a university student. Still I'm a student. So I know the way something that needs to be taught so that everyone, students especially, understand. So once you become a teacher, you sometimes lose track of what it feels like to be a student.
Definitely.
Yeah, you might have noticed that. Sometimes, not with everyone, but some. So fortunately, as I am still a student, I still have that in me. So I understand the subject very well. So I know I have enough knowledge and enough relatability with my peers and my students to be able to impart that knowledge onto them in a very understandable, fun, simple and quick way.
Yeah,
so that is why.
Yeah, so like you understand how the heartbeat of the maths works and the heartbeat of the student works.
Very nice.
So it's the momentum mathematics puts those two
together. That's a good.
Yeah, that's
good
interesting. So to like we have very wonderful conversation, but we have to sum this up. So to sum this up, like what is your final concluding message? What you have to tell for a student who's planning to do it? It's like he has to do maths. Everyone should do
Definitely. Maths is a compulsory subject.
So what is your final message for someone who's going to do maths for O levels, and like how he should plan his learning and like how he should do his exams and what are the final message for them?
Good, that's a good question. So what I can say is, being 15, 16, an O-level student, it's a very overwhelming age. That is the transition age between childhood and adulthood. Okay, so you are in the breaking point. So you're walking on a tightrope. If you fall this way, something else. If you fall this way, something else. So you have to balance it very carefully. So being in this age, everything will be overwhelming and confusing. Right? I remember being overwhelmed and confused and not knowing what to do. So that's what I'm saying. Not knowing what to do at this age is quite normal. Not everyone knows what to do instantly. So some might have had a dream since their childhood that I want to become this. They are good, gifted, they are good, not bad. But most of us, the average, the mass, the mean, we may not know what we need to do right away. That's fine. So what you need to do is just study. Take the next step. You don't have to think about running the mile. You only have to keep thinking about taking the next step. You take the next step and the next, and eventually you turn back. You would have walked so many steps. So all I can say related to being a student is that don't being confused is fine, but don't give up. Don't ever give up. Take the next step. No matter if you are tired, if you feel like you're overwhelmed, if you are dead, just think about taking the next step. That way you will walk so many steps.
Yeah, that's a interesting insight, and I can see that this is the place, the momentum mathematics, the place that know how what is the heartbeat of the mean of the O-level people.
Definitely.
Yeah, he especially knows the mean. Not that the peaks on
Not
the
the peak,
on the
yeah.
graph, just the mean.
The mean,
and-
the average.
Yes, the average. And like if you're someone like that, and if you want someone who does understand it, a teacher who does understand student, I think momentum mathematics is the best place for that.
Definitely.
And that's again a very interesting and insightful conversation. And thank you for your
Thank you,
valuable
thank
time
you.
spending with us. And let's meet you again with another session. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.